Hello, hello. This is YouTube. I've got no clue how anything works. Hello, how's everybody doing? Why do I sound a bit like Darth Vader? I've been sick for the past week. I am late on recording, which is very unfortunate. I had to record some things yesterday, but I obviously didn't want to because I sound a little bit dead. It's much better now. A few days ago, it was ridiculous. But alright, we've got 2 minutes. So, my expectations. We are going to a winter island. I am certain about that. Is this another lore dump chapter, though? I don't think it is. I think we're actually going to see them arrive on the island. And maybe... I think they're going to meet Bonney. But I don't think they're, like, going to do anything, if that makes sense. As to what the island is, who knows? It's just a random island. I don't think it's going to be like anything super major. It's but I mean, it has to be. I don't know. I really have no clue. I have no clue. One Piece time. There. An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 19. Escape. A successful rescue of Niji and Yonji. Brilliant. Brilliant. I love how Caesar is just tagging along with them at this point. Excellent. Okay, so we are opening up with Bonney already. Who's that? They just popped out of the water. That little kid's yelling about something. Look down? What's down? What the hell is this? There's something just under the surface. It's terrifying. Get us out of here. What the hell is this? We've got a big shark-looking thing. What is that? A shark? It's too big for that. And made of metal? Laboon? Is this your long-lost brother? Well, this is a very interesting start to an island, if I do say so myself. Well, apparently, Franky's confirmed it. Franky has 100% confirmed it. I was going to make a very stupid joke about how Kara did actually join the Straw Hats, right? With the whole rabbit screw thing. But then I got distracted by the absolute madness that's going on, because apparently now the Shark 2 is firing rockets, which is like, okay, what even is this? Jinbei has just become our savior mechanism for all of our Devil Fruit users. Whenever they fall into the water, Jinbei just pops off. Brilliant. As if he were made for that. Almost, right? It's almost as if it was always planned. Now it's fixed. Now my head's no longer clipped by the thing. It has some sort of green border around it, don't worry about it. Not much a rudder can do in this. What am I reading? So, Franky has busted out his big robot, and now he's fighting the shark. I'm guessing this island does very much follow the trend of some sort of wacky science shenanigans going on. It's not Franky? Vega Force 1. Is this what I think it is? Okay, I'm not gonna get excited. I'm not gonna get excited yet. If this is Vegapunk's island, I am actually going to die of happiness. And I think at that point it pretty much confirms that Vegapunk is basically going to be our last ally of sorts. We'll see. At a nearby island, Naval Branch G14. Alright, so we're getting a check-in with Tashigi. So they're still dealing with the... I like that we are actually getting a follow-up with them. Which also is... This is a bit sus, right? Because we are getting a follow-up with all the kids, it makes me wonder whether or not they'll be important sometime again. Because now, I mean, it's been so long, right? The last time this thing was actually relevant was in Punk Hazard. Actually, if they're trying to... But no, that wouldn't make sense. I was thinking, like, maybe this would instigate the Elbaff arc, right? So maybe, like, the world government would want to get rid of Elbaff and shrink down the giants, right? Because they're a threat to them. And that would maybe cause a conflict with Elbaff? And this is basically just in the background setting that up? But this is sort of the inverse of that, right? Because they weren't originally giants. I'm getting real sick of that Helmeppo kid. Can't you do something about him? So who's this? Vice Admiral Dahl. Is this someone I should know, but I've forgotten? Probably. Probably. Alright, so he's still worried about Kobe. Brilliant. At least Helmeppo has actually become a good friend. A good friend. New character. Alright, great. So I haven't forgotten about her. At this point, so many new characters have been brought in that I'm just like, I don't know who these people are. If they pop up more times than like 5, then I may start to remember them. If not, then yeah. And is this another new character? Hibari or Hibari? So we're just getting a lot of these sword people, right? Okay. You gotta go with us to the Pirate Island. Yeah, because that's definitely a great idea. Yeah, but you're talking about Pirate Island, Blackbeard's hideout, a place crawling with so many pirates, every surface is spot-marked for constant shootouts. Yeah. We're so close to Egghead, we could take this. Hold on. If the island... Okay. Well, isn't this convenient? We are so close to Egghead, and I assume that the island the crew is about to arrive to is Egghead. Well, isn't that convenient? And we're going to grab a Seraphim, or Seraphim. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think it confirms what I think it is. Okay. 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 I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this, but I'm very excited. Team Luffy. Okay, let's get back to our Straw Boys. Do you seriously not know who I am? We're both part of the worst generation. Our names have been associated this entire time. I was there in Sabaody 2 years ago. I am Bonney, and just to be clear, we are enemies. Well, it certainly doesn't look like you're enemies. But thanks for saving me. Alright, so, at this point, have we had, except Blackbeard, has any person... Okay, yeah, Appo too. Okay, yeah, never mind. I was about to say that I think we've allied with every single one of the worst generation, but that's not true. That said, I do think that Bonney is going to be an ally. Especially with her poking around in the Reverie, I think she will tag along. That said, we don't know where her crew is. She seems to be alone, and we basically know nothing about her. They never actually met until now. That's something that's easy to forget, right? Because I don't think they met. They didn't meet the monk dude either, right? In Sabaody. She only met Zoro. Yes, I do remember that. What's up with your bounty poster? With your hair all white? The papers are making a big deal over you. That's what I look like when I am free. So Luffy's just having the time of his life. Brilliant. I love the split up of Chopper and Jinbei. Yes. Like, genuinely, every single team up that has Chopper in it will already be so much better. Like, just right off the bat. And I want to see Jinbei now split up into more tiny teams. Obviously, he's a very new Straw Hat, so I just want to see his dynamic with a few characters. I think with Robin, that dynamic was already really cool, because both of them are sort of more level-headed and not super wacky as the rest of the crew is. So I think that worked really well. And what about your ship and crew? I came here alone. That metal monster ate my ship. So I guess that automatically dispels the Kuma theory, right? So now the question is, how did she get from the Reverie to here? And better yet, why was she in a Aang thing? I think this is the first time Chopper and Luffy have been alone. It might be. It actually might be, yeah. At least recently. There's probably been like some point in time, but recently, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, like most of Wano really didn't have them together at all, for the most part. Speaking of eating, I am hungry. Of course you are. Let's look for a restaurant. I'm starving too. Do you have any money, Luffy? Brilliant. I love that Chopper keeps wearing the hat. I really hope that he keeps wearing the hat, at least for a little bit. Obviously, he's going to change his little outfit at some point, but I love the hat. This is a government island. Let me explain. Yes. Yes, it's called Egghead. A place 500 years into the future, they say. I'm starting to lose my voice. The island that houses Dr. Vegapunk's laboratory. Okay. Well, okay. Now I need to sit up in my chair. Things are getting very real. Vegapunk, hey, I know that name. So, 500 years into the future, we are talking about just tech, right? We're not talking about literally time travel. I really, really hope not. I hope it's just a way with words to say that it's super advanced. If this is another case of time travel, let's not. Everyone thought it would be Elbaff next island, so Oda was like, how about a different island that only mentioned at the end of chapter 1059, Egghead. Basically, yeah. The eddy is caused from a swell of warm water beneath the surface. From what we've seen in Megalodon, the shark could have been blown or ship underwater. I guess that makes sense. I mean, with One Piece, right? With One Piece, it makes sense. The question is, why was she just chilling in it? And how long was she chilling in it? Right? That's basically what I wanna find out. If you go the theory, the world used to more tech and advanced tech, was able to recreate it. No. I don't want time travel shenanigans. I don't want time travel shenanigans. If it's just a case of him being like so smart that, you know, like people just say like this dude's living in 3500 while we're living in 2020, that's cool. And yes, I said 2020 because time is a flat circle. Another failure, blasted. Why isn't it possible to control the urges of living creatures? Look, someone pops out. An error in the programming, I suppose. Now, just a moment, you filthy pirates. Who said anything about saving you? I'm just a humble genius scientist hired by the government. You can call me Dr. Vegapunk. Well, this is the biggest clickbait of all time. Does anybody actually believe that this is Vegapunk? Does anybody actually think this is Vegapunk? I'm like 900 million% sure this isn't Vegapunk. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Punko 2, exactly. Like, this is... like, this is like either a cyborg of some kind, or maybe he's straight up cloning people, or whatever, but that's not Vegapunk. Like, there's no way. People have referred to him as an old man. This is not an old man. So does One Piece count as a mecha manga? I mean, I suppose so. It's like a clone or robot or granddaughter? Something like that, yeah. Oh my god, we're actually going to see Vegapunk. Like, obviously this isn't him, right? But, oh, I've got so many thoughts. I've got so many thoughts. This could literally be anything, that's the thing. She speaks like an old person and no Bonney who can change ages. Well, yeah, but I think with Vegapunk, right, it's going to be something as... honestly, like, completely wild prediction. I wouldn't even be surprised if Vegapunk is not a person, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Vegapunk has done something along the lines of uploading his consciousness and he isn't actually alive anymore, right? So he just essentially transfers himself between bodies or something like that. Something absolutely wild like that. Because with Vegapunk, like, imagine if we found out, for example, that the entire army of Kumas is like a hive mind that is not actually controlled by like the dude that was Sentomaru, I think his name was, but it's actually Vegapunk or something like that, right? Oh, this is huge. Like, the fact that we are seeing Vegapunk, I mean, like, at this point, because remember in the Franky separation special, he picked up a thing. He picked up the paper, right? And it had like a devil fruit plus like a gorilla or something. So we're like, that is the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to find out. Hive mind. Definitely possible, yeah. I think hive mind is a possibility. Devil fruit lore is around the corner. Yes. I don't know what is in Naruto, Orochimaru thing? I don't know what that is. In Japanese, they never put gender on Vegapunk, the English version of it. But does Japanese even have, like, gender pronouns? Isn't it, like, just like a neutral one? I don't know. Orochimaru takes over other people's bodies. It has to be something like that. I mean, think of it this way. he made like the seraphims, right? Or however you call them. Why on God's green earth would he walk around himself if he can do something like that? There is no reason for him to leave his laboratory. And like this is a scientist's laboratory, right? He would have it like a mini fridge with his favorite drinks. He'd have like a monitor playing something in the background. It would be glorious. Question is, which one of all of those options is it? Because we don't even know he could have a devil fruit, right? And maybe what makes him super smart is actually the devil fruit or something like that. Maybe he can like, I don't know, maybe his devil fruit is being a hive mind of some sort. This is huge. This is ridiculous. What about Law's immortality power? Obviously Law's immortality power, I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see it relatively soon. I like, there is no way it was introduced and then it was dropped, right? That's just not how Oda writes things. I don't think that's the case here, though. Ready for 20 to 30 chapters of lore we've been waiting for since chapter 1? Yes. Yes. I mean, like, if you go back, I did a reaction video to my first One Piece video, right? And I talked about it there. But, like, when I first heard about the devil fruits, because again, for some quick background, I went into One Piece with zero knowledge about the series. I didn't know anything about it, right? And then, I think it was Morgan who was talking about the devil fruits, and there was like the illustration of like 15 of them or something, and I was like, oh, so you're telling me there's only 15 devil fruits in the world, right? Give me lore. I am ready to find out about these 15 devil fruits, and Luffy is one of them, right? This is huge. This is huge. Obviously I was very wrong, and it's 1,000 chapters later, and we still know nothing about them. But that changes now. That changes now. I am so excited. This will be glorious. What do you think about the scene of Sanji asking Robin for help? Some people say he should learn to hit women. I completely disagree, though. I think the Sanji asking for help scene is probably, like, up there with his best scenes in the series. Why would anybody ever not see the connection to Whole Cake Island, right? Like, literally the premise of Whole Cake Island is him not asking for help, and in Wano, because of the things they went through, he asks for help. I mean, like, it's kind of... I think there's like a clear through line there. I think that scene was perfect. Are the others getting captured? Can't imagine that with Zoro there. Question is, like, again, we are talking about Vegapunk here, and they are on his home turf. Or at this point, let's just call them a they, right? We are on their home turf. So I don't think Zoro's going to be able to do anything if this is the sort of tech he just has lying around. I think if they wanted to, the Straw Hats would be toast. And that's like why I think there is no way that Vegapunk won't ally up. We might get more info on Luffy's fruit. I think we have to, right? That said, Luffy's fruit might be reserved for Laugh Tale. We may find out about fruits in general, though. This is something Oda has been sitting on for 25 years, so the lore dumps are gonna be massive. Yeah, because, like, a lot of people obviously get caught up with the whole how much is a retcon, how much was planned, etc, right? But with something like the devil fruits, I am, like, 99.9% sure that the origin of the devil fruits has not changed since the first chapters, right? It's only probably been expanded. Because, like, when you're, like, imagine One Piece, right? If it was a super short story and Oda never knew that he would basically write one of the biggest manga ever, right? The mystery of the fruits is something he would have thought out perfectly before the series began. Yeah, this is literally something that he has been probably sitting on for like 20 years. Will we go to the moon now? I don't think we're going to the moon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do hear of Eneru. Like, if Vegapunk just suddenly says something along the lines of, oh, you know, there's been some weird activity on the moon, I would not be surprised in the least. So, Franky focused arc. I would like to see some more focus on Franky, right? Because we've barely seen Franky. I mean, he was he obviously did a few big things in Wano, right? He fought the big dinosaur, which was cool. But with Wano specifically, I feel like a lot of the older Straw Hats, like the ones, not the older as in they joined first, but I guess the younger Straw Hats rather, the ones that joined up later in the series, they didn't really get that much focus. So yeah, I would like to see a bit more focus on Franky, and maybe this is what we actually see. Franky would be the first one to reconnect with Vegapunk, right? Because he's like, oh, all of that tech I saw and that island I blew up, that was genius. All right, let me like time to explain everything I saw. And they're like, hey, you know about that stuff? You know what? Let's have a chat after all. I think that makes sense. Will Chopper get a nice new lab? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. A little Dapper Chopper. Maybe he's going to get a... Wait, hold on. You know what I just realized? I just realized he's wearing 3 hats now. I literally just realized that. And he's been wearing 3 hats for the entirety of Wano. How did I just realize that? Because I was about to say, like, maybe he's going to get another hat, but... yeah, he's already got one. Franky and Chopper focused arc. Maybe more Sanji focus? No, we don't need more Sanji focus. Franky and Chopper, though, that makes perfect sense. I'm guessing with Vegapunk being super advanced, it's not just like tech for the sake of the military or something like that. It's probably tech on all fronts. And the fact that we just so happen to check in with Tashigi and the kids. Very interesting. Everyone next arc would be for Usopp, but Oda said nah. Yeah, I feel like with Dressrosa and with how much focus Usopp got there, I think the only time we're going to see like an arc that is centered on Usopp again is Elbaff, if that ever happens, which I think it will. I think it will. If this is indeed a lore dump island, okay, entertain this idea. Entertain this idea. We arrive at Vegapunk's island, right? And Vegapunk turns out to be a revolutionary. Let's say that. And then we find out that the world government is indeed worried about Elbaff, and that the kids they are now curing are actually essentially a reverse experiment. And that is why we go over to Elbaff, and then the Elbaff arc happens. Maybe? 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 My only gripe with Whole Cake Island is that Oda didn't show us Zoro's reaction to whatever crap Vince Smokes said about Sanji. I feel like with Zoro is sort of... Zoro, if you've seen The Walking Dead, right? Zoro is basically your Daryl in a lot of situations. Instead of being, like, super emotional, he's just going to basically nod at you, and that means the world, right? A nod from Zoro is like, we're best bros. Like, bros for life. I feel like that's the case with Zoro. So, I feel like his reaction wouldn't really be that pronounced. He would just be like, well, that's the world, right? And like the latest, not the latest, right? Because there's another new episode. The episode we got that was adapted last week, with Sanji like wrapping Zoro up in that thing. I think that scene was super wholesome in the anime. I really like that. Sanji has to get more focused though. Vince Smoke heritage in his raid suit. Obviously the video's not out, but I despise the raid suit. It's so ugly. Like, Sanji, if there is one thing that Sanji has, it's drip, right? The dude is dripped out 24/7, right? The red suit, perfection. The raid suit is disgusting. Why would anybody ever wear it? It looks stupid. So I don't care about the raid suit. There's a chance for Chopper to learn how to heal the smile effects, and once they're back at Wano, heals the... I like that. I actually like that. That's a good idea. Because we're returning to Wano, right? Now I'm wondering, like, this is the final saga, right? So, if we are getting this arc, and this is going to be a short arc, okay? And then let's say we get Elbaff, and then we get the Return to Wano arc, which I am certain of, and then we still have the final war, and then we still have Laugh Tip. I feel like something in my theory is wrong. Anyway, that said, what would I rate this chapter? So, the previous couple of chapters, I think I gave both of them 9.5s, right? With this one, I feel like the reveal of Vegapunk, or at least something connected to Vegapunk, is huge already, but at the same time, I wouldn't say this is as hype as Blackbeard showing up. I feel like Bonney is going to function as a bit of a lore dump of what happened in the Reverie, which should be exciting. But yeah, alright. The ranking. The ranking. This chapter, I think it gets a very solid 8 out of 10. Vegapunk mystery, cool. Bonney will do lore drops. Excited to see more. Hopefully no time travel. There we go. That's the IGN review for this one. It's ready, ship it. Predictions for the next chapter? Honestly, at this point I think it could go in a long list of different ways. I do feel like Bonney is going to lore drop a whole bunch of stuff about the Reverie. I'm guessing we will find out what happened with Cobra, maybe? Because, I mean, there's got to be, like, a reason why we saw the connection there. But in terms of Vegapunk, it could go either way. I feel like with the way these arcs are usually set up, they might clash for a little bit, and only then we would be like, oh, you know what, let's actually team up, or something along those lines. I feel like I don't think we're going to get straight into lore dumps. But with that, thank you very much for joining me for this YouTube stream. Apparently, it's still not broken. Have a very nice start of your week. Watch House of the Dragon. It's going to be glorious. And I will see you when I see you.